and those kids are rocking. Jump down, touch the ground, yeah, that band can play. Jump down, it's all around, dig those hookers hopping. Jump down, what's that sound? Swing all night and day. Jump down, swing around, it's more than just sock hopping. Jump down, that new old sound, swing your blues away. Jump down, come on now, everybody swinging. Jump down, cut that frown, man, don't be no square. And those kids are rocking. Jump down, touch the ground, yeah, that band can play. Jump down, turn around, jump down, turn around, jump down, turn around, jump down, turn around, jump down, jump down, jump down, jump down, jump down, jump. It's all out of day.
Welcome everybody. It's Mark Reed and it is AIMBOT time. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm feeling great today. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic today. I hope you're feeling the same. I hope I can pick you up if you're feeling down. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for everybody for your time. Um, so what are we doing today? We are aimbotting. We are basically going through and asking, am I morally bankrupt or are they morally bankrupt? Usually we're going onto Reddit and finding the juiciest stories. Well, yeah, maybe slightly juicy stories, and see who is in the right, who is in the wrong, who should be denigrated, who should be uplifted for their amazing moral compass. And I hope you can join me for just some consensual judging. Of course, people have to be asked to be judged, and that's okay. That's all right. Who's out there? Tapioca Weasel's blaming me for something as usual. I think I can get rid of that one. That one's fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, blame somebody else. Bear Air, so good to see you. UK, hey, I didn't know that. I did like the UK. The UK is absolutely lovely. Marenia, how you doing? Um, oh, Big Bad Mama and Aunt Ja. Wow, you're spoiling me today. So welcome to the stream. Um, how are you going? How come you don't say how are you going? Do I say how you doing? Um, because I'm assuming that you're not traveling. Because if you say how are you going, it assumes that you're going somewhere, right? If you say how are you doing, it's whatever you're doing. It's more open. It's more inclusive of people that are incredibly sedentary, aren't you? People who are incredibly, you know, static and not actually going anywhere. So it's just to be inclusive of those people who aren't actually going. Look, everyone knows that I'm not going anywhere. Let's face it. Hey Aussie Gold, how you doing? Good to see. I do say how you doing, don't I? Well, that's news to me. But yes, and Marenia brings up a good point. It is Pride Month, and I wanted to give a bit of time and sort of go through my thoughts. And don't just sort of go, oh, it's Pride, it's and sort of thing. I do know that sort of a lot of things have happened recently, like the whole Target incident, and the Target incident is particularly horrible because it's essentially where Target's pulled a bunch of products from its shelves because of the response of the public. And when I say the public, I don't really mean the public. It's a small amount of the people that are essentially going to the stores and getting mad at them. So at the moment, a certain segment of our community um, is sort of crowing about sort of they made Target lose all this money and something, and that isn't really what had happened. Um, they essentially and what's really weird, and this is sort of I didn't mean to talk about this, but why not? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it. Um, that they sort of have started this go woke, go broke movement, and like I mean, it's really weird to see the people complaining so heartily about cancel culture and then starting their own cancel campaign, which is really weird. And I think that a lot of these companies are sort of they're maybe listening to the loud, incredibly loud minority instead of the majority of people that actually support Pride and support the movement, kind of thing. Um, so basically, um, they were Target has reportedly removed merchandise and will remove Pride merchandise from its stores. Um, so basically, um, they they basically have been yeah, I know, yeah, it's sort of a vice president of diversity, equality, and inclusion. Yeah, right. So they sort of and you know, I think that Target stock has gone down because of their reaction to what they've done. So I want to share this with you. So a right wing group has taken aims at them and called it's demonic paraphernalia. Look, they're clothes, mate. Like, they're just clothes, okay? Relax. So they removed all this stuff, but it wasn't because their customer base had sort of spoken. It was because their staff were being physically threatened. And I disagree with what Target has done. I think what they should do is they should hire more security. They should protect their staff, of course. But why are we caving to the minority that is threatening with physical threats? Why are we doing that? Since when is that allowable? That people walk into a store and say, "Hey, I'm going to kick your ass if you don't stop selling this." You know, this isn't happening with, like, you know, Bibles and things like that. We don't walk into sort of booksellers and say, "Hey, if you sell Bibles, I'm going to kick your ass." You know, what kind of democracy is that, where a small minority who are violent and oppressive get their way because they threaten just people working at work? Yeah, I think Target should have stood up for their staff and had more security and basically, you know, called the police on them. Use all of the legal options available to say, um, you know, let's take care of these violent people. Let's get them away. Yeah. So this is sort of you know, these sort of, look, if you want to go through legal means to say, "Hey, you can't do this or that," you know, sort of, so go through legislation. I vehemently disagree with you, but that is the way that democracy works. That's just how it works. If you want to go into stores and start threatening people because they're not doing what you want, that is so bad. Like, seriously, what are these people doing? But see, that's what they've done. They've gone into stores and threatened staff, knowing that the company will go, "Well, the best thing we can do is just to stop selling them. We've got to protect our staff," you know. And I think that's the backlash against Target. They should have had more security. They should have sort of, you know, they should have stood up for their staff more and stood up for their customers more, the people that actually matter. I do want to also show you something from I think it was 2020. It was 3 years ago, yeah, so 2020, but I still think it holds true today. It was AOC's speech on personal faith. So and I want to sort of be more optimistic here about you know things.
I am experiencing this hearing and I'm struggling whether I respond or launch into this question as a legislator or from the perspective of a woman of faith. Because
I didn't even know she was Christian. It makes sense. Nearly everybody is in the American legislative system. Like, there's so few atheists and so few, like, for instance, it's not like that in other countries. There's no reason for it to be like that. You know, the Prime Minister of Australia just is like, he's got no religion. He doesn't do religious stuff. His name is Anthony Albanese. And as far as I know, like, he's just not religious at all. I don't think he's particularly outspoken as a thing. I mean, I can have a look, but like, it's so little a an issue that you don't even know if they're religious or not. And don't get me wrong, we've got our religious nutters over here. Like, definitely there are politicians on the God bus. Like, you come across them, and our previous prime minister was. But there's no reason to exclude somebody from the democratic process because they're not riding that bus. There's no reason to. Like, why? It's so strange to me that essentially that in a country like America, where personal ability is sort of prided, that somebody who's just perfectly capable won't get elected for their religious views. It's really weird.
I cannot, it's very difficult to sit here and listen to arguments in the long history of this country of using scripture and weaponizing and abusing scripture to justify bigotry. White supremacists have done it. Those who justified slavery did it. Those who fought against integration did it. And
yeah, I don't agree with her religion, and so I'm not sure about that. I think that she's changed her position on lots of things. I'm not a huge fan, but I think this is significant in what she's sort of saying. That this is happening, and this was 3 years ago, not just this year. This is what I want to say. Like, this has been ramping up for a while now,
and we're seeing it today. And sometimes, especially in this body, I feel as though if Christ himself walked through these doors and said what he said thousands of years ago, that we should love our neighbor and our enemy, that we should welcome the stranger, fight for the least of us, that it is easier for a rich man, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into a kingdom of heaven, he would be maligned as a radical and rejected from these doors.
Yeah, and if somebody's complaining about woke culture too, just say Jesus was the most woke person there was. I mean, yeah, it'll make them mad, but it'll be funny. I mean,
and I know, and it is part of my faith.
Can you imagine how mad someone would be if they said, "Oh, Jesus didn't like the gay"? Jesus was woke as fuck. You know what I mean? Imagine how mad they can. I got to do that sometime just for the lulz.
That all people are holy, and all people are sacred, unconditionally, and that is what makes faith sometimes. That's what prompts us to transform. Because it is unconditional. It's not about that it is up to us to love parts of people. We love all people. There is nothing holy about rejecting medical care of people, no matter who they are, on the grounds of what their identity is. There is nothing holy about turning someone away from a hospital. There's nothing holy about rejecting a child from a family. There's nothing holy about writing discrimination into the law. And
so I disagree with her premise, but she's right. There's like people getting up on their high horse that they're somehow doing some kind of, work of God by rejecting people's medical treatment. Like, why? How do you get from I'm going to reject your medical treatment and ostracize you as a person from society to that's sacred? Like, seriously.
And I am tired of communities of faith being weaponized and being mischaracterized, because the only time religious freedom is invoked is in the name of bigotry and discrimination. I'm tired of it. My faith commands me to treat Mr. Minton as holy because he is sacred, because his life is sacred, because you are not to be denied anything that I am entitled to, that we are equal in the eyes of the law, and we are equal in my faith in the eyes of the world. And so I just have to get that out ahead of time, because it is deeply disturbing, not just what is happening here, but what this administration is advancing is the idea that religion and faith is about exclusion. It is not up to us. It is.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Pat. I totally agree, right? But I want to sort of highlight people that, okay, maybe she believes that for the wrong reasons. Like, I get you, and I see where you're coming from, but she believes the right thing, right? Do I care why she's willing to do the right thing? I do not. We've got to look beyond these things that make us sort of uncomfortable and things like that. We've got to say, hey, you're entitled to your beliefs, but if you're going to stand beside us in times where we are under attack, you can believe that all you want. I disagree, sure, but if you're going to stand beside us, then you're an ally. That's it. That's all. We don't need them to believe exactly what we believe. We can just be allies on certain things. Like, I get you. I get you. It is kind of, sort of, yeah, like, okay, lady, sure. People are holy. Gotcha. Yeah. I think people are important. I think people are valuable. I don't know what holy means. No, I got you, mate. Like, I totally understand. I totally understand. I get you, but we can't control what other people believe. All we can do is sort of work with the people that we have. And this is too important to say, hey, because of the reasons you believe people are valuable, we don't want to have anything to do with you. And this is what I'm trying to get across, that this is too important to sort of go, well, we don't need your help. We need these people's help. We do. We cannot afford to ostracize them. We cannot afford to push them away. We cannot afford to denigrate them. We need these people's help. That's the reality of the situation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. It's there are worse things out there than AOC.
It is not up to us to deny medical care. It is up to us to feed the hungry, to clothe the poor, to protect children, and to love all people as ourselves.
Okay, well, I mean, I disagree. I disagree with loving all people as ourselves. I think that there's people that you shouldn't love like yourself. I think there's people that you should prioritize yourself over them. I get that her religion says that. I'd probably disagree. Now, the reason why I want to bring that, I want to sort of front load that, was to sort of go into something that's happening at the moment. This is from June the 5th, so 2 days ago. And this, like, buckle up, people, because this is absolutely rotten. Oklahoma, the first state-funded Catholic school, taxpayer-funded religious school, right? Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. So there's been a lot of outcry about this in the right areas, like when you pay attention to the areas, because this is an absolute breach of the Constitution. So the Constitution is no coercion in religious matters, no expectation to support a religion against one will, and religious liberty encompasses all religions. So that's sort of the separation of church and state. The fact that they're going ahead and sort of they're sort of making it so that the religious will the religious laws are going to be have the taxpayers pay for schools, and I want to find this because I saw it earlier and it just made me furious. The Archdiocese official have been unequivocal that the school will promote the Catholic faith and operate according to church doctrine, including its views on sexual orientation and gender identity, raising questions of whether Saint Isidore of Seville would abide by all federal non-discrimination requirement. So basically, they're sort of saying, hey, we're going to teach these kids with our church doctrine. But they're not even saying, hey, it's going to be run by the religion, but we're going to, give a equivalent of a state education. They're not even suggesting that. They're basically saying that we're sort of we're going to teach kids the bigotry and the horrible stuff, to do with sexuality and gender. They've basically stated it outright. They're not even trying to convince you. They're going to be sort of, oh, well, we're not going to teach about, this kind of things. Oh, look, as far as I'm concerned, no, there's no problem by having a leader as being hot. That isn't a problem. Like, you bring up things that aren't problems, but this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a Catholic school, basically paid entirely by the government. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and sort of, so in order to be able to teach these bigoted views, they are setting up their own schools. Essentially, they're setting up their own schools. They're going to teach bigotry and sort of, because they see it as, oh, in secular schools, you go there and you get taught there's nothing wrong with being gay and nothing wrong with being trans and nothing wrong with being bi and nothing wrong with being any of these things that normal people of our society are. They're just people, and that's fine. But the problem is that they want to set up their own schools where they can teach that it's wrong and it's horrible and it should be stamped out and all of these horrible things we're hearing. And then these poor kids, they'll get out of the Catholic school and into real life, and they'll realize that so very few people actually support what they've been taught in school. That they don't have a huge amount of support. They don't. They are being very loud and they have power in the right places. They are not the majority. The majority of people have nothing against gay. They have nothing against trans. I absolutely think. And I want to share with you one last clip. I know I've been going on about this, but it's important, and it ties in with what I plan on doing over the next couple of weeks. Is doing some calling out of the religious people. Let's call them out. Let's show where their thinking is illogical, irrational. They have no basis for it, because nothing in a secular society gives you as a Christian any right to discriminate. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. If I'm over here and I believe people are important and that sort of trans and sort of gay people have the same rights as everybody else, and you think that, hey, they shouldn't be gay because there's nothing that says that your belief has any weight over mine. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we can't treat minorities like we have in the past because it's been horrible for us. See, here's the thing, and the difference is that they're saying, hey, you shouldn't be gay, you shouldn't be trans, you shouldn't be these things. None of the atheists are going around saying, hey, you shouldn't be Christian, you shouldn't be Muslim, you shouldn't be this, you should be that. It's immoral for you to be this. You're hurt. You get to believe whatever you want to believe. I can point out the harms that religions do. I can point out all the harms that everything does, and you can too. But that's not what these people are saying. They're saying that they have some kind of moral high ground or some kind of authority to tell people what they can and can't believe. And that just isn't true. It isn't true. But I want to share with you one last thing, which I want to sort of, and I really want to bridge the gap here, and sort of, I don't want to go on the same old, oh, church is bad, etc., etc. I want to give a good accounting of what's going on, because it's easy to see the wrong and the harms and people doing wrong things. It's easy to see that. What's harder is people. Whoops. Sorry, I have mucked up my thing. I have mucked up my thing. There we go. What's harder to see is people doing the right thing. So this is Dean K. Johnson, I believe it is, or Johns. Johnson, Dean K. Johnson of the Episcopal Church of Missouri. And this is the only video of this I could find. So talk about front loading something. Yeah. This is what needs to be done.
On June 28, 1969, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera were the unlikely leaders of a movement that would have global consequences. It was the beginning of the Stonewall riots that transformed the American landscape around LGBTQ plus issues. This year, as part of the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri celebration of Pride, we are launching the I Am Sorry campaign.
Yeah, so this is what I want to point out, that there are some people doing the right thing. They are apologizing for what they've done in the past and willing to move forward. And it always reminds me that I mean, I'm not telling you what to feel. I'm not telling you what to do. Myself, I want to forgive the people that have caused harm. It always reminds me of Nelson Mandela and the incredible act of bravery and sacrifice to forgive the people that I mean, Mandela was a man who was locked up for nearly 30 years for standing up to apartheid in South Africa. And he came out of prison, won the election, and everybody expected the new black-led South African government to crack down on the whites, treat them exactly the same, slaughter them, do all the things that had been done to the black people in South Africa. And he didn't. He forgave them, because the cycle of violence would never end if he continued that. So he made a choice that was amazing. And the only reason South Africa is in the position that it's in right now, that they haven't completely devolved into a third world country, was because of his amazing choice to forgive them for locking him up. Incredible. And it wasn't because some god asked him to do it. It wasn't because it was a sort of, it was required of him. He did it because it was the right thing to do, because in order to have a society, we have to forgive the slights, because if you take revenge for that and then another person takes revenge and then it is a cycle of violence that will never end.
There's an opportunity for us as people of faith to offer an apology to the ways that our LGBTQ siblings have been treated by good people of faith throughout the decades, and I would say throughout the centuries. This is an opportunity for us as a church to say, I am sorry, to be reconciled to a community that has long heard religious people, especially Christians, being the voice of condemnation and judgment.
So I want to say that it heartens me seeing people do this. I think that Dean K. Johnson here has sort of, this is the way forward for all of us. Like, we can't just stamp out religion. As I said, people have the right to believe what they want, but we've got to stop thinking of all religious people as being on the other side. Some people are willing to stand with us, and that's enough. At the moment, that's enough.
It's an opportunity for us to change the narrative, to offer a sincere apology, and to begin that work of healing and seeking after justice. We know that our trans siblings continue to be the target of bills that will deny them their very dignity and their right to exist. We know that Black trans lives are being taken disproportionately in Missouri and across our nation. And this is the opportunity for us to declare unequivocally, we stand beside every beloved child of God to declare that you are not broken, that you're not an aberration, that you're beloved, that you are a blessing, and we welcome you in this church where there are no outcasts. So I invite you to join me as we offer an apology and a way forward that allows us to respect the dignity of every human being and to walk with our siblings in Christ as we seek a more just and compassionate nation.
So do I agree with his religious stance? No, of course not. I don't agree with his religious stance. Do I care why he wants a more compassionate and accepting society? I do not. I don't. As long as he wants a more compassionate and caring society, I'll stand with him. We can't push these people away because they believe something different. It is enough to have shared values and morals. And he's apologizing, and it seems sincerely, or I would like to take it as sincerely, for what the church has done in the past. It's no small thing, and this, and what is disheartening is that's the only video I ever found about an apology. When I searched online, I mean, I didn't really do a deep dive, but sort of that's the only one I could find. And I want to acknowledge the bravery it takes to stand up to you're a Midwest church, in Missouri. You're standing up to the current vitriol that's out there. I just want to acknowledge that for a second, regardless of his reasons. It's good that he's doing that. It's a good thing. Yeah. Oh, look, Big Bad Mama, I absolutely agree. And Caterpillar, so good to see you. Caterpillar's an inspiration. They are a wonderful person, and we have these people who are who really do mean a lot to society, that are undervalued, discarded. And to all the gay, trans, lesbian, bi, queer, intersex people out there, you're not them, you're not they, you're not this thing over that. You're us. You're part of us, you're part of society. Your marriages are just as valid as anybody else in society. Your opinions are just as valid as anybody else's in society. Your love is just as valid as anybody else's in society. Anybody else's. And I don't care that a God tells you it's not. I don't care. But it is good to see some of the churches standing up and sort of saying, hey, this was a thing that the churches did, and we're sorry. As long as the religious are willing to stand with our brothers and sisters that are currently being targeted, because they are, let's face it, they are. As long as they're willing to stand, then that's got to be acknowledged. Don't agree with you, don't support your church, it should be taxed, or at least you should have to apply for non-profit status like any other organization out there. You know what? Maybe his church is doing the right thing. Maybe they're doing a lot of charity work, and maybe they're absolutely great, and deserve that non-profit status. Absolutely. Maybe they do, but there's a lot of them out there sort of taking advantage of that non-profit status. Yeah, but if they're willing to stand with the current problems that we have, yeah, encourage them, and don't just lump all of them into the same pot, because that's how you push people away. That's how you alienate and ostracize people, and that's what they're doing. They're lumping everybody into the same pot. They're saying, hey, this trans person committed a crime. All trans people. That this group wants to make this horrible thing legal. All LGBTQI people want to make this thing. No, let's not do the same thing we're doing. Let's not just lump them into one category of hate and vitriol. Some are doing the right thing. We see you. We see you trying to do the right thing. Disagree with your reasons, don't care about your reasons. As long as you're doing the right thing, it's all that matters, right? Anyway, that's my opinion. It's one person's opinion. For what it's worth, you can agree or disagree. But why are we here at the moment? We're supposed to be aimbotting, and I've gotten on a rant and a rave, and I just wanna send so much love to everybody out there, because people have described this as an inflection point, and I can't stand aside and say nothing. I can't. People may say, hey, we like your anti-religion stuff. We don't want to hear about all this stuff. Sorry, kind of not sorry. I can't stand aside and say nothing. I can't. I wouldn't be myself. I wouldn't be who I am. So, you don't like it, don't watch, sure. It doesn't worry me. That's okay. You have every right to, or not to, but I cannot stand aside and say nothing. I can't. I am physically incapable of it. Seriously, I literally can't. So, I honestly think that you have a right to turn me off and say that I'm a woke fool, and call me whatever you want. I'll still talk. Look, nobody could be here and I'd still be talking. You can't silence me. YouTube can silence me, but I don't think YouTube's gonna, because YouTube lets a whole bunch of stuff on that is incredibly questionable, that I don't agree with. AIMBOT. So what's AIMBOT? AIMBOT, we're going to be looking through Am I the Arsehole for Reddit, and we're going to decide who's right, who's wrong, who's good, who's bad. Completely consensual judging. completely consensual. People will ask for our opinion. We will give it. It may be wrong. It may be right. It may be one-sided. It might be based. But hey, let's find out. Let's find. And by the way, I've got no idea what these are. Like, no clue. This is the first time I have loaded the page today. Maybe first or second. I haven't looked at what I've got here. So I have not vetted or edited or reviewed or anything to these things. They are coming at me. This is my natural reaction. Fools wear hats. Okay. I have worn a hat in the past. Does that mean I'll be interesting? Hey, Loki, good to see you. Yeah, I've had a good rant. I feel better. I feel really good today. I feel really good. I didn't know my fantastic friend Kata had a YouTube channel. Let's get that up. Where was it? There we go. Thank you, Big Bad Mama. I hope I'm subscribed. I'll be so embarrassed if I'm not subscribed. There's people that I know, right, that I'm not subscribed to. And I actually get a little mad at myself for missing their channels kind of thing. I seriously am like, what the hell was I thinking? I don't know how I missed subscribing to this person or that person. So, oh no, I'm subscribed to that one. Kata, they make me smile. Yeah, and Twiggy is literally the goat. Absolutely. Absolutely. But everyone's welcome on my channel. Even if you disagree, that's fine. I kind of have rules against preaching and sort of not engaging in conversation, but everyone's welcome. If you want to support us, we'll support you. That's it. That's it. It's very easy. It's called reciprocity, people. Look it up. Look it up. Reciprocity. Okay. Oh, Kata, whatever you do, I will watch. Seriously, it's so good. We see you and we accept you 100%, Kata. Absolutely. Am I the arsehole for kidnapping? Maybe. Look. Okay, so anytime, yeah, that brings up warning things. Kidnapping? Is it really kidnapping if I'm the mother? Well, yeah, if you don't have custody, it kind of is. The husband to have a panic attack. Yeah, that's probably not a good thing to do. Okay. Okay. I, 29 female, recently started working again after having my daughter. For male. 4 meters? Am I reading this right? 4 months? 4 months? Think it's 4 months? 4 months? Am I getting better at this? 4 months? Daycare is too expensive, so my husband, 35 months. Look, okay, so could I please have some consistency on the abbreviations here? Because seriously, you're doing my head in. Addition familiar. You're doing my head in. Like, seriously. I had just worked out that's 4 months instead of 4 meters, and then you're like, my husband of I'm a husband of 35 meters reluctantly agreed to stay home. Yes. It's important to know that he's been unemployed since 2021. He receives benefits. Okay. Why is that important? It's also important to know that he's extremely lazy. Look, lazy, I am not convinced there is such a person as just somebody that's lazy. I think that people have issues. I think that people have personal things. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that there's some things within people that prevent them from reaching their potential that they can. I think that everybody, given the right circumstances, the right motivations, the right help and assistance and sort of thing, that everybody will work hard. Sure, some people won't work as hard as others, but I don't like lazy. I think it's yeah, he doesn't cook, clean, or help out in any way. I was nervous about leaving her home with her father, but I had no choice. When I came back from work, she was clean and sleeping. The next few times I came home, he was either playing with her, feeding her, or out for a walk with her. I was happy. A few days ago, my neighbor told me as soon as I leave, the baby cries and cries for hours. My neighbor said that she knocked on our door and he finally answered it. He was sleeping. I concluded that he sleeps all day and night, you mean? He sleeps all day and night. Oh, that doesn't sound like laziness. That sounds like some sort of issue. Oh, hello, Ember. It's so good to see you. I've had my rant, Ember. You're safe. You can come in now. I've ranted enough. I've had my weekly emotional unload, like I usually do in front of these things. And I feel better. I feel great. So I hope you're feeling really good. Before I come home, he pretends to care for her. I decided to take the day off work and left home at my regular time. Waited 30 minutes, then went home. Sure enough, he was knocked out asleep with his stupid noise-cancelling headphones on. I went to my daughter's room, scooped her up, and took her to my friend's house. Yeah, you probably could have told him. I waited 2 hours and finally called to tell him I was coming home early. He called me back saying he can't find the baby. He told me he was going to call the police, but before he did, I told him what I did. He called me an asshole and a lot of other words too. When I got home, his mother was there calming his nerves because he has a panic attack. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, actually, good point, Carrie. A big shout out to Ember, who's just hit 1,000. Ember's awesome. I couldn't be happier. Ember's worked really hard. Finally made 1,000. How long did it take you, Ember? I know you asked me how long it took me, but I want to ask how long it took you, and I forgot, which is, just sort of, something I would absolutely do. Let's face it. But I did want to ask you how and that's Ember's channel. If you do want to get on the Ember train, and I highly recommend it. The Ember train is comfy. It's cozy. It's warm. It's inviting. Get on the Ember train. It's a nice time. It's a fun ride. That's Ember's channel for those who do want on the Ember train. Because it's a nice ride. It's comfy. Look, that speaks to me of mental health issues, to be honest with you. I don't, I'm not going to say he's blameless, kind of thing. I'm not going to say that he's 29 weeks. That's incredible. That's really good, Amber. That's amazing. That's really well done. I'm not gonna say that he's blameless. But yeah, oh, the mother called her an asshole, not the husband. Okay. My husband decided to sleep at her house. Family members are telling me that I'm a terrible person. I know that it was extreme, but I don't know if I. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think talking to him and asking him why he's sleeping all the time. Look, somebody sleeping through day and night, to me, that screams depression. I'll be honest with you. It screams deep depression. I don't know whether that's the case. I don't know. And calming his nerves from his mother screams to me of anxiety. So was he the arsehole for doing that? Yeah, kind of. But I think you were too. So I'm probably going to go down that everybody's terrible in this situation, like sort of everybody. But it sounds like he needs help. He needs help. He needs a lot of help. Yeah. If you're leaving your child in somebody with depression carrier, I agree. I totally agree. You know, that's kind of the wrong thing to do. But I know that she's got to go away to work. Life's hard. It sounds like you need a lot of help for your entire family, and I think um, Australia, as all of my Australian friends will know, we have the NDIS, which is sort of they help with things like housework if you're mentally ill and you can't do housework, and they help with these things. That they will try and help with everything. So you know the government. That's what the government's there for. Okay, that's what it's there for. It's there to take care of people and get them to a stage where they can work and they can contribute. There's a lot of people who have been through really rough times, and my heart goes out to them. But with some help, they can. And this is why I don't think there's anything such as a lazy person. I think that people are just, in a way, broken. And maybe there is people that don't work as much as they should. I get that, but I don't like that word of just sort of saying, hey, they're lazy. Someone sleeping all night, all day needs to be calmed down because they're having a panic attack or calming their nerves, and they need someone to, that's speaking to me of mental health issues. Yeah, but we're not dogs, Tim. That's the thing. We're not dogs. Is terrible. Yeah, so I absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of agree. Yeah. Yeah. Usually most mental health issues are caused sort of trauma related, sure. Um, Either that or, some I guess aren't. It's just, um, some things that people won't acknowledge as traumatic. I thought I upvoted that. Sort of are traumatic, you know. Sort of, so it may be that he's lost a few jobs and um um he's like hasn't reached where he wanted to reach. Yeah. But the only adult caring for a 4-month-old, absolutely, yeah. Locked due to an excess of rule violations. Okay. You're lucky your neighbor told you and didn't call CPS. This is neglect and dangerous. I'd divorce. Yeah, okay, Reddit. You're just, yeah. Look, I'm not saying he did the right thing. I'm not saying he did the right thing. Definitely he's the asshole for putting on noise cancelling headphones. But all I'm saying is that assholery might be mental health. Well, it's because if you're depressed, you need to get help with that. Like sort of so if you've been sleeping for 2 years and basically, you're in that stage of 2 years and you've got a kid, you need to step up and get some help. Like I think my criticism of him will be very light. I think that what she did was just mean. Oh yeah, I mean, if your child's missing, of course you have a panic attack. Oh, hello, Simos. It's really good to see you. It's really good to see you. Uh, he's a loser. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is Reddit for you. They're just really harsh on anything they see. Donate a shit charity 3 towns over. Okay, throw the headphones in it. All right, that doesn't help anything. It's not appropriate caretaker for your child, and if I were you, I'd be reconsidering the relationship completely. I am. Okay. The daycare that I can get her into won't take her till she's 6 months old. I'm going to have to change my schedule. I can work all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mum, sister, friend, cousin help it until I'm getting the daycare. Find a village of protectors for your child. Well, that's not bad advice, at least. Your husband, his families are not protectors. You are in my prayers. Yeah, that won't actually help. Like, seriously. Why do they think that will help? I will take that. Like, I mean, people are like, "Well, bless you," and I'll pray for you. It's like, okay, well, I'll take it as the sentiment it kind of it means. But you know, sure, sure. I don't know why you think it'll do anything. It's not going to do anything. If prayers would do something, the gun problem in America would be totally fixed. Yes, I'm leaving. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, that's her choice, sure, but the way that she's put it, I don't know. Yeah, so then neglecting a baby, that's definitely an asshole move. Maybe that's true, Big Bad Mama. Maybe that's true, but you can't put on noise canceling headphones when taking care of a baby. That the baby cries for a reason. Like there's going to be a reason it cries, and it needs to be taken care of. Um, yeah, when they're teething and stuff, they'll cry for no reason. But um, it's incredible how much your later life is affected by the nurturing that you receive just as a baby and being ignored. They did a study, actually. It was fascinating. They do a study with um, when the baby smiles at somebody, they had the mother not smile back, right? Just to ignore it, just to keep a blank face. And the amount of upset it caused the baby not to get that smile back kind of thing is incredibly um traumatic for the baby. It's just the way that sort of babies work. They have a sort of call and response. It's very very sort of primal kind of thing, a call and response that they will gurgle and smile. And if they don't get that sort of gurgle and smile back, something back, they're very very upset. So sort of, yeah, neglect. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd listen to. He obviously needed a literal wake up call. He does. Nobody deserves to have a panic attack. Okay, people are so mean on Reddit. I gotta say, I'm done with him. He's waiting for an apology. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I probably. Yeah. Okay. That's a bit much. Sounds like they're both neglecting the baby. Well, I mean, yeah, well, Big Bad Mama, it's one thing to, be going to work and leaving your baby at home with your husband, who is, sort of unemployed. And if he was caring for the baby, I'd be like, yeah, sure. But if he's not caring for the baby, then she's not really neglecting the baby. In her mind, her husband was taking care of it. So I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I haven't. I have not seen that actually, Daryl. That's interesting. Is the response incredible kind of thing? Um, oh wow, okay, I got to share this. Yeah, um, Daryl Frost. Wow, you're a legend, Daryl. This is cool. I hadn't seen this. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like completely lame, but this is cool. Um,
We got the baby's first pair of glasses.
Okay.
He already hates it. Christian, open your eyes, buddy. Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi, Munchkin.
ah, that's amazing.
You like
You like him?
Hi. You like him, huh?
Yeah, that face is just like wow. Um, I'm going to try and find the call and response from psychology. It was an experiment done, and keep in mind, like, um, this might take me too long to find. Yeah, okay, it's going to take me too long to find. That's okay, but yeah, just take my word for it. A sort of stony face during a baby's like sort of early development can be really traumatic for the baby, just not giving it that attention. So that's why I do think that he's a bit of an asshole. I mean, it might not be 100% his fault, but um I feel like writing something on this. Like, I usually don't write something on this. Um, I mean, this is solidly not the asshole, but kind of feel I'm not making excuses for him. But have you considered that he has serious depression and anxiety issues? Is what it sounds like to me. But I mean, here's the thing: if he does have depression and anxiety issues, then he can't be looking after a baby anyway. Like he can't be. He can't be. So yeah. Okay, and what did you guys say? What did you find people decide? I'm kind of yeah, the poster needs an attitude adjustment. Okay. Well, it looks like you disagree with Reddit, and that's okay. That's all right. I'm personally sort of everybody's in the wrong here. I personally think that everybody. But yeah, it kind of kidnapping is right. He was under somebody else's care, and you took him. It kind of is like kidnapping. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Am I the asshole for letting my daughter have a peanut butter cake when my nephew is allergic? No, not really. Lonely fruit bat, hey? So my daughter recently turned 7, and for our family part, she asked for a peanut butter and chocolate cake. I agreed. I let my singer know not to bring my nephew because of his allergy. It's so bad he can't even be near breathe in peanut butter particles. Okay. She asked if I would change the cake to be just chocolate so that my nephew would come. I said no, that was my daughter's cake and she can have peanut butter if she wants. She called me unreasonable because my daughter could not have peanut butter cake with her friend party. But hang on. If she wants, yeah, she called me unreasonable because my daughter could have had another peanut butter cake with her friend party. She didn't have cake with her friends, she just had pizza. She said that my daughter needs to learn to compromise for the sake of the family. I told her I would talk to my daughter, but not to expect a 7-year-old to choose her baby cousin over her favorite cake. My conversation with my daughter played out just as I predicted, and when I told my sister, she called my daughter selfish and ungrateful. It's a friggin' 7-year-old. Like, of course they're selfish and ungrateful. What do you expect? She said that I'm a bad parent because I taught her to hate nephew. He hasn't taught her to hate anybody. Jeez, this is okay. She threatened that if my nephew wasn't welcome, that neither she nor her husband would come either. I said it was fine because she wasn't welcome. All right, well, that's, Then I reached out to my brother-in-law to let him know what was going on and tell him he was still welcome if he wanted to come. He thanked me but said he would stay home to support my sister. The party came and went, and my sister is still being distant and cold. This has got me wondering if I was too harsh on my nephew or too soft on my daughter. Am I the asshole? No. So, well, not really. He's basically saying, "Hey, I'll give it to her." It is silly. Look, if the person with an allergy has got to learn that, yeah, life's unfair. You've got an allergy, and that sucks. That sucks. It does. But you can't expect other people to change their lives because of your allergies. Sorry, you just can't. I get that, like, sort of when it's in a public school or something like that. Yeah, so they can't bring their nephew because of his allergies. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is weird. I'm not sure about this one because the nephew can't even come because of the party. Because of the cake, sorry. Can't even go to the party because of the cake. I think, is there an option on the poll for this doesn't really frigging matter, and that, like, your daughter could have a cake anytime? I kind of do agree with both of them. On one hand, you shouldn't have to change for an allergy. On this other hand, like, it wouldn't be a great deal to just have the cake at a different time. Like, seriously, this is first world problems right here. Like, no, bring your own cake. Is it that bad? Yeah, apparently the nephew can't even go to the party because if they're in like 1 kilometer distance of the cake, they'll fold up and die like a spider under a raid spray. Apparently, I mean, that's what I'm reading into it. It may not say that outright. Yeah, I kind of do agree. She can have the cake whatever she wants. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's his sister-in-law. Yeah, I kind of think that the guy could compromise a little. I know, right? Birthdays, marriages. It's incredibly, like, it was all marriages the other month. I don't know what's happening. This Reddit thread seems to go in cycles. It's like birthdays, marriages, Christmas, Thanksgiving. It's like the same problems are coming up. You know what? You could just say, "Hey, we could have the cake one night earlier if you want." And look, any 7-year-old, because 7-year-olds are dumb. Like, they are dumb. They are dumb as hell. They will agree to have the thing earlier because they don't think in terms of, like, is it important to have on the day? They're just like, I get it earlier. That's great. Adults will go, hey, maybe it's best to put off the things I like because then it's so much more significant to me. And it's you get that. 7-year-olds don't think like that. They're just like, I want it as soon as possible. Oh yeah, yeah, Paul. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, I kind of agree, Ember. If presents are kind of, it's very weird. I don't really celebrate birthdays as in presents and things. I think it's just like, I don't like getting presents. I don't like giving presents. I always feel like I've done the wrong thing when I give a present. I always second guess myself. So I really dislike it. I would rather pay to have a dinner, or pay to go somewhere, or even if it's a lot more than what I'd spend on a gift. I'm you know I I I'm more than happy to spend on, you know, um, to spend for a block of time to share with that person, to catch up on their life, to hear everything that's happened, to enjoy their life, and have them enjoy mine. I think that's way better than just giving them something that they will probably not use, and not, sort of, is probably something I never wanted in the first place, because I'm terrible at gifts. So, you know, uh, the poster is the poster being unreasonable? Are they? I want to know. Okay, that fit last time. It didn't fit this time. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, what do the Redditors think? This is a hard one since your nephew is so allergic. You have to really think about it before having the kid around. Can you order some Chinese takeout fried foods? Probably not. I mean, there's always so much peanut in Chinese. I mean, I love peanut sauce. I love satay. Satay is amazing. It sucks. It sucks that some person is allergic to something that is so nice. That sucks. It does. Um, but you can't expect people to change for you. You've got to learn that, hey, that's your allergy, and that's just what life is like. Um, yeah, yeah, Tim. Reddit says divorce. Divorce everybody. That'll fix the problem. Um, what if you made something in the past that might still be there? Do you have peanuts in something? Here's also 3, so you can't have a party outside and be like, don't eat that. I'm saying not the assholes. You told them ahead of time, letting you couldn't accommodate and wouldn't force your common. Yeah. Having Part of having strong allergies is you don't get to do everything. It is what it is. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. In router yourself, in a router yourself. Okay, that's a weird name. In a router yourself. I do agree with that. It is what it is. It's just it's an allergy. Peanut butter chicken is good. You guys are making me hungry. You realize that, don't you? It's terrible. Now, if this was, say, a family barbecue or 4th of July event, yeah, make special space for the nephew, homie. Shoot, even a chocolate cake made from bakery. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, I know this isn't easy. I want to make space for my nephew, and sometimes you do things to your kids just for their sake. Do you all want to come over for dinner for? Yeah, I like this. I like it. Yep. Compromise. You're saying, hey, I can't accommodate them this time around. It sucks. I get it. How about we do something with your nephew and the family, and we have a different cake as well, or we do something something else. There's such a solid take. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, calling a 7-year-old selfish, like like I said, of course she's selfish. She's 7. Have you met a 7-year-old? Look, don't get me wrong. I don't hate kids. I'm not I'm not a big fan of kids. Like I just don't get the big, sort of deal of kids and stuff. It just doesn't appeal to me. But it's not like I hate kids. It's just, you know, at certain ages, kids are selfish and they are, terrible and they will do terrible things. That's just the reality of the situation. It's not like I hate kids. It's just, yeah, kids aren't for me. They're not for me. To add, it's the wrong spelling of to, King's daughter. I can immediately, because of your spelling, I can immediately discount everything you've got to say. If anyone is teaching OP's daughter to hate her cousin, it's the sister. I'm not sure about that, Chief, but yeah, I did disagree. She's not the poster isn't teaching them to hate, kind of thing. Look, I'm just honest, man. Like seriously, no, come on. Like seriously, Tim, don't forcing a young kid to give up their favorite cake on their birthday is an excellent way to sow resentment towards the person they're doing it for. Yeah. I think you could explain to your daughter, though, hey, it's really rough to be allergic to. Imagine, like, you can try and teach your kid empathy and say, imagine being allergic to your favorite cake. Imagine that you can't have it because that would kill you. You'd probably want to describe it in a different way to a 7-year-old, but you know what I mean? Like, imagine that. That would be awful, right? So let's have some sympathy for the other child who can't have this cake. Doesn't that suck? Not the asshole, but for the future, you might want to frame to the 7-year-old, then get 2 cakes out of the. Yeah, like I said, 7-year-olds are not the greatest thinkers in the world. A regular chocolate cake to share with the family and a peanut butter and chocolate cake later or earlier. Yeah, exactly, earlier for the small family. Plus, there'd be leftovers of the favorite cake that way. Everybody wins. Good call. Good. I'm going to upvote that. Good call. Except the kid can't be in the room with a peanut butter cake. They're not talking about being in the room. Down. No, I'm not going to vote you down. I don't vote anybody down. I feel guilty about voting people down that have it at a different time. Yeah, exactly. I'd make allergy-free cakes. Yeah, I mean, you can get allergy-free cakes, but they're probably going to be more expensive. I get you. But I mean, I'm not aware of any peanut butter chocolate cake that you can get peanut free. I'm not aware. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's find out. Am I wrong? Peanut butter cakes for people with peanut allergy. Look, as I'm writing it, I feel stupid. Honestly. Yeah. Apparently, they can substitute peanut butter with banana, but that's not going to taste the same. Soy nut butter. Ugh. Look. My mother had celiac disease, and she used some soy-based derivatives, like some flour based upon other stuff, and it didn't taste good. Mind you, that was a long time ago. So you're allergic to, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Look, if Alex is looking forward to brownies, look, I mean, I'm 46 and I still look for, like, cake still makes me happy. I remember, like, at work, they would have a cake day. They would basically one day a month, they would just bring in a ton of cake, and I was so happy about it. Like, you know, you've gotta sort of let your inner child. Your part of you is still that inner child, and you've got to let it sort of live a little. Sometimes you've got to say, "Hey, cake is good. We like cake. Sure, sure." Not the asshole. She said my daughter needs them. Everyone get in the car. We're going to City Hall to do something about all these one-way streets. Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's his nephew is a 3-year-old. He's not really gonna. Yeah, the rest of the world. Okay, so a lot of food allergies. The rest of the world does not have to accommodate me. People have the right to eat what they want. I have the right to ask what is in the food and demand to know if I can't get straight answer. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. If I go to a dinner party and there is nothing that's safe to eat, I'll fill up on bread or salad or whatever, and I do not have to feel embarrassed, nor should my host. Okay. The nephew is young, but he needs to learn fast. Yeah, that's what people with allergies have to do. Look, this is why I love Ember. This is why I absolutely adore Ember. Do you have any idea how long our ancestors toiled over hot ovens and uncountable generations to figure out how to make that stuff? Yeah, no, I cannot refute anything you say. That's awesome. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm 100% on board. Cake technology that has been hard won by humanity. If you don't eat cake, you're insulting the people that worked hard to invent that technology for humanity. Don't insult our technology. Under normal circumstances, I'd say not the asshole, because while allergies do suck, the world doesn't revolve around it, and frankly, except this time it isn't. The second party shares two parties. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's yeah, okay. Compromise and be a good host. Yeah, I kind of that's really hard. But yes, I do see your point. I do see your point. I'm gonna upvote that because that's made me think. She is getting two parties. You could have the compromise. Your sister did overreact, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think it's odd to expect someone to get a babysitter for their kids so they can send a 7-year-old. Sorry, toddler, I'm off to a kid party. Yeah, so disabled maternal family and many events, the venue wasn't accessible. Were they assholes for hosting events at places they enjoyed? No, it's their party. They can do what they want. We aren't the kind of family met outside frequently. So I've seen them other times, and they're members of that side of my family I haven't seen in a decade. Okay. No, it was their parties, and for each event, it was only one event. It wasn't like anyone consciously decided to never host anywhere accessible. Well, that kind of sucks. Like, that's really, the place should be accessible. Still sucked for me. On the other hand, my maternal family found ways round things. One wedding I went to, the venue was on an old accessible church, and the couple rang me to tell me, why don't they just haul it up the thing? I mean, get a couple of big boys and helpers, the strongest ones. Yeah. And they got it set up so a few of the groom's friends are nominated, get the wheelchair up those stairs. Helpers, the strongest ones have been asked that they could help find. Yeah. I mean, I remember like when I knew somebody in a wheelchair, we'd haul them up all kinds of places. All it would take is just 3 people that are relatively strong, and we could haul them anywhere. Like, seriously. Similar to your situation, you're not an asshole for giving your daughter peanut butter cake, but it still sucks for your nephew. What makes you the asshole was how you handle it. You're blunt and telling him you could have compromised. Like you could have cake 20 minutes before the party with the nephew leaving just for the cake being there for the most of the party. That's true. Okay, she wants the cake. I do agree that I think both. You know what? I'm going to come down on everyone's. Everyone sucks here. Yeah, everyone sucks here. Yeah, yeah. What did I put it as? What? Everyone needs an attitude overhaul. Yeah, I'm going to change. Like seriously, he could compromise. She could compromise. You could all compromise. You're just not talking to one another and compromising. She's expecting her way to go. And let's face it, this is about cake. Do you really not know how to correctly spell peanut butter? Okay, so I love you, Reddit. I'll give you an upvote for that. Oh, hello, Beamsy. Oh, and we have a new member, Beamsy. Beamsy, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So welcome to the Read Rumble, Beamsy. And we've got a few members in here. We've got Hillhugger and we've got Ember and you know, so much. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And the Bear Air who just joined, and I didn't give a shout out for you, Bear Air. So Bear Air just joined as well. I didn't notice that. Probably a bit late, and my apologies. But yeah, welcome as well, Bear Air. I hope you enjoy all of the emojis and the fun times that you have. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, this one's interesting. Look, it's so many times these things, like if we just communicate with each other and sort of, you know, sort of say, you know, how can we get to where we both get what we want? I did this amazing. Okay, so you're going to laugh, and you know, wisdom from the corporation, right? When I used to work in a corporate setting, like as part of our training, and I'll never forget this. This was really cool. We teamed up into teams, right? Like two people in my training group kind of thing, and this was for complaints, right? Complaints and customer service, essentially. So this was the high level complaints training, and they gave us a scenario where they had we were groups of two, so just you would have a partner, and they would give you both a sheet with a scenario on. And my scenario was like, I needed these oranges to make a cure for rabies, and they needed the oranges because part of the oranges they needed to do something else, kind of thing. And you had to communicate between you to find out how you would distribute the oranges, whether it's 60-40 or, you know, what was, and you couldn't read the other person's sheet. You just had to communicate it. Now, the thing that I didn't notice, and that, well, I didn't notice, they didn't notice, nobody noticed, was that, in fact, I needed the rind and they needed the pulp. But, you know, unless you were communicating well, you wouldn't pick up on that. So that it was sort of reinforcing. So really I had argued, and we'd sort of argued to sort of, you know, split them 50-50 kind of thing. But what we didn't realize is we could both get what we want if we communicated more. And that was the whole idea of the exercise, right? That in fact, we could use my processing plants to extract them. We could use their transport division, which was very well maintained, to distribute them. We could actually work together and both of us could get what we wanted. And that was the point of the exercise. And I'll never forget that, because I argued black and blue for my side. And I didn't need to. If we just talked some more and found out, you know, more about the situation, we could actually both win. And I think that's always stuck with me. that if you just talk more about the situation, and that's why I think that you know, sort of, it's why earlier I was on about, you know, the Christians making apologies and doing the right thing. We can win out of this. We can work with them. There's no reason we have to say, you know, let's take these people out. We can both win on this one. And I think I liked that one earlier where they said, hey, you could have 2 cakes. You could have 2 cakes and your kid would win, the other family would win, you would win. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Like, there's no reason why you don't, unless, you know, unless you're worried about diabetes, and then maybe you lose. So, you know, I think there is a situation in here where everybody wins, and I think that nobody is paying attention. So I'm going to sort of say everybody sucks. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, you're welcome to disagree. In fact, please do. Please disagree. Yeah, no, I get you. It's a sad day when more cake isn't a solution. It you know, more cake solves just about everything. Just about. Just about. Okay. Oh, this is juicy. Creepy mum throwaway. What? Okay, I'm gonna upvote just for that name. Creepy mum throwaway. All right, this might get wild. Okay, buckle up, buckaroos. Am I the asshole for walking out of a restaurant and stranding my mum for a few hours after she embarrassed me? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just gut reaction. Sure are. This thread is rooting for Look, healthy, balanced diet. Cake's fine. Having a lot of cake's fine, but you got to balance it up. You know, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Yeah, but they're talking about having they're talking about having 2 cakes on different days, and no 7-year-old is going to go, no, that's too much cake for me. Like, you know, I could do 1 cake. I certainly wouldn't do the second, you know, the next night or something. Like, 7-year-olds don't think that way. So, backstory for context: I was a shy teenager. I was a shy teenager too. I was definitely a shy teenager. So my mum took it upon herself to help me flirt with boys. Okay, that's a bit weird. That's creepy. That's creepy. Why help you flirt with boys? Like, if that's providing advice, okay, but if it's like flirting with them on your behalf and then going, hey, I'm taken, but my daughter's interested, that's a bit creepy, I gotta say. That's kind of getting into Pornhub territory, I gotta say. If a cute boy so much as spoke to me, even if he was working and had to speak to me, should try to make me flirt with them or flirt with them on my behalf. What? That you can't flirt with somebody on somebody else's behalf. Does that even work? Is that a thing? Can you proxy flirt? Is this like the VPN of flirting? What's going on here? I don't get it. Somebody explain this to me. It started out as just pointing out that the boy had smiled at me or looked at my boobs. Okay, but when I still wouldn't flirt with them, it escalated all the way up to the point of her flirting with the boys on my behalf. And the way she went about it sounded like she was trying to sell a cow. Like, isn't my daughter cute? She hasn't had her first kiss yet. You should ask her out. Okay, so that's just embarrassing for everybody. That's just really embarrassing for everybody. Like, seriously, stop doing that. Stop doing that. This is Chiefs, my personal flirter. Yeah. Oh, hello. My name is Angela. I'll be flirting with you today. It contributed a lot to my anxiety. I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. When I was 17, I had my first panic attack when I went to a cafe where my crush worked because I was so scared my mum was going to harass him. At one point when I was in college, we had a huge fight at home after she told some man I thought he was hot, where I had to give her an ultimatum that she did it again, I would go completely no contact with her. She did stop for a long time. Do you think her mother's vicariously living through her daughter? You know what I mean? Like, she's sort of, oh, I'm not able to do this anymore, but I want to, but I'm gonna, sort of make my daughter live for me. Sort of the way that you get those sort of, dance mums and stuff sort of go, oh, well, you've got to dance because I'm sort of living vicariously through other people. I don't find them. Are you talking about the Reddit or the members of this channel? Because, I found you, Hillhug, or maybe you found me. There's the scarier thought. Look, this is just Reddit. People just arrive. I don't find them. They're just on Reddit. Like, there's no finding them. I told a boss on a luncheon once that I dated a waitress and he tried to hook me back up with her. Super embarrassing for both of us. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's look, I get the sentiment, Aussie Gold, I really do. There's the sentiment, but I mean, it's even more embarrassing when it's your parent. Like, that's even more embarrassing. The Hive tells us, okay, yeah. Are you talking about Bree's Hive? I love Bree. Bree's awesome. I'm not over it. Oh, the current issue. Okay, so we're caught back up to modern day. Like, that's a lot of backstory. Thank you for the backstory, creepy mum throwaway. Yeah. Now I'm 28 and my relationship of 5 years just ended a few months ago. I'm not over it. Even if I were, I don't need her help flirting with men. Fair enough. She started up again. At first, all she was doing was pointing out when guys might have checked me out or writing my phone number on receipts. Look, it's okay. It's okay to be alone. That's okay. Like, leave her alone. This weekend at lunch, our server was my type, around my age, checked out my chest and laughed at a joke I made. I know he was just doing his job. Checked out my chest. Okay, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's interested or available. It's just one of those things, like it just happens. It's like, you might check out a guy's butt, like, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're interested or you're available. It's something that happens. You just go, hey, that is nice. And it doesn't even really mean that anything really. It's just something humans do. I know I was just doing my job, but speaking to him was the first heart-pounding moment I've had since my breakup. And although I wasn't going to ask him out or anything, it was nice to feel attraction, I guess. Was just made me feel good. And that's okay. You can be attracted to somebody and say, hey, that attraction is there. I don't even have to act on it. It's fine. You don't have to. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. A lot of people who are in breakups, and especially people that lose others, see that sort of attraction to another as something they should feel ashamed of. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. Even if you're not ready to go into anything at all, it's okay. Sit with that. It's all right. You've felt attraction. That's okay. You don't even have to act on it. And in fact, if some people probably shouldn't act on it. You feel attraction doesn't mean that you have to get this person to do something or talk to you or whatever. You can just feel attraction and let that be. That's okay. So there's a lot of people in general, not just men, people in general, who will feel attraction and feel like they have to force that person who they feel attracted to into a situation that they don't want to be in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Whoever you are, don't. It's okay for you to feel attracted and just have that attraction as for what it is. Oh, look, Amber, it's perfectly fine. Like, that's perfectly fine. I won't lie. I love having someone to share blankets with. That's amazing. But if I ever am alone, that's okay. That's okay. It's not something that needs to be remedied. What am I trying to say? You should be with somebody because you want to be with that someone, not because you're afraid of being alone. Okay, I'll just put it that way, right? It's because of that person that you want to be with, not because that person stops you from being alone. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. You could admire without touching folks. Yeah, and I think that admiration, there's sort of, it gets over the top. Like in certain circumstances, in certain, if you're at work and stuff, feeling attraction is fine, but you can't, just indulge yourself at work. You have to, sort of put that aside. Yes, that is a thing. I can sit with that. That's fine. Did you guys see the Jesus Guns Babies lady who ran in Georgia? What, ran for legislation, like the legislative? I wasn't aware of that. It sounds ridiculous. Went full flat earther. That doesn't surprise me. Jesus Guns Babies. The next logical step is flat Earth. Really, I mean, she ran for governor. Okay. A Flurf governor. Well, that would be new. That would be new. This is for you, Bree. This is for you. All right.
Don't tell us separation of church and state. We are the church, and we run the state. The church as a business doesn't get to monetarily control the government. I will never let that happen. There will no church in Georgia monetarily control the government. But we are the church, friends. It's us. We are the church. And it says of, by, and for the people. The church runs the state of Georgia. This state is sovereign.
Wow. That's some fundamentalist theocracy right there. Promo code MyPillow. It's the MyPillow guy. What was his name? Mike Liddell or something?
State. We decide what happens. We decide if we kill babies.
Oh, really?
The puns, Dr. Dino, the puns. Yes, bring them on. Bring on the puns. Which of course my mum noticed and ruined. Yeah, don't force people into situations that they don't want to do. Like if you're being a wingman, right? If you're going to be a good wingman, right? You're a guy, right? Okay, so I am a man. That's fine. That is a label that I identify with. And you want to be a wingman for your guy, right? There's your friend. You pump him up. You go, hey, you can do that. Just go up, say hi, my name is, hey, just talk to them, tell them what you like, kind of thing. That's how you be a good wingman. What you don't do is force them into a situation that they're uncomfortable with. And you know why? It's because having your guy that you're wingmanning for comfortable enough to come across well is what your job is. You're not there to force, like, go up to the girl and say, hey, my friend wants come over and talk to my friend. Here, talk to him straight now. And your friend is like, that's not a good wingman. That's not a good wingman, right? What you do is you go, hey, man, I'll send her a drink and then, ask if she wants to talk to you. Come up with a few things. Is that all right with you? Yeah, let's do that. That's what you do. You give them some warning. You get them to be comfortable, to be settled in. And of course, you're not trying to trick anybody. You're just sort of saying, hey. You're just saying, hey, my friend's a good guy. but you don't throw your friend in the deep. That's against the bro code. You don't throw them in the deep end like that. That's against the bro code. Your mum has broken the bro. I'm not even sure if it counts. I to be honest with you, I never watched How I Met Your Mother, so I'm aware of it. I'm aware there's a bro code, but I don't know what it is. So I'm a pretender and a fraud. Of course, when she came to check on us, she said very loudly that our food was fine, but my daughter needs more coffee and your phone number. Oh, why? He looked uncomfortable and shuffled back to the kitchen. Yeah, he might not even be available. He's just trying to work a job. I'm oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry. That's my bad. I kind of mucked up here. My bad. Hey. Yeah. I'm kind of sorry for the girl who has to go through this, but I'm kind of sorry for the guy who's just at work and being hit on by somebody's mum. Like, seriously, he's just trying to do his job. I was mortified, so I pushed catch on the table for my meal and walked out the restaurant without saying a word to her. I drove home without her, which stranded her because she doesn't know how to use Uber. Well, that's kind of her problem. And my dad couldn't pick her up for a few hours. She's been sending me messages through text, and our family is like, I forgot you were so sensitive, or I embarrassed you, but you embarrassed me by making you wait for a ride, so we're even. I reminded her about the ultimatum I gave her years ago, told her I would talk to her when I was ready, and blocked her number. I do have pretty severe anxiety and sometimes overreact to things that aren't that of a big deal. I asked my siblings if they thought I was overreacting, and half think I am and half don't. So I guess since they're split, I'm asking for the internet instead. Am I the asshole for overreacting? Is she the asshole for harassing random men for me? Well, yeah, she's definitely the asshole for harassing random men for you. That's not even a question. She's absolutely in the wrong for doing that. She should not be doing that. No, especially if you've got oh, I didn't do the last poll. Post that did nothing wrong. Ooh. And everybody. Okay. Mum, you're a pervy creep. Please stop. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. But it's just that lack of consideration of what her daughter is actually going through, or her daughter's feelings on the matter. Her daughter is anxious every time she does this. Just that lack of consideration for their feelings. Like, I get that her mother gets a thrill and gets to feel like she's doing something awesome and doing something cool. It's not about you. That's not what you should be doing. You should be actually should them being left stranded. Um, at the same time, should she have left her stranded? Well, she wasn't stranded. She just didn't know how to use Uber or get a taxi. That isn't. And she wasn't really stranded. She just had to wait a while. So, but if you've agreed to give somebody a lift, should you be able to be angry and then just leave them wherever you're leaving them? I feel that that's not the right thing to do either. I feel like sort of leaving them in the lurch without telling them isn't the right thing to do either. I'm not entirely convinced. I think that maybe you should say to her, "Hey, I'm leaving. You can find your own way home." Did she actually tell her that? No, she put cash on the table and walked out. If she did it again, I would completely go no contact with her. Okay, so, um, okay, so, um, Yeah, no, I don't get creeping perving on people who aren't interested either. But then again, I don't get creeping and perving on people that are interested. You know what I mean? Like, I think that that's a bit of sort of, so there is a fine line between checking someone out and ogling them, kind of thing. I think there's a fine line. But if you just see somebody and they're attractive to you, it's not like you have a lot of control over that. It's not like you can go, oh, well, I just won't be attracted. But I think there is a fine line between sort of checking somebody out who's attractive and actually, you know, like, because when you're saying perving on them, that sort of, to me, that suggests a sort of showing, or at least investigating them for a long period of time or something like that, right? That sort of you know, ogling somebody kind of thing is just, yeah. Not the asshole. Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole as well. I get that, yeah. She didn't even apologize and made excuses. Pretty creepy. How's your dad feel about that? He just thinks mum is being quirky. Quirky is bring your own condoms. Here's Reddit going off. The quirky is asking for a fork for each item on your plate. Quirky is wiping down the seat and table with a sanitary wipe. Harassing the waiter and your daughter is not quirky. Your mum is a bully and has been... Yeah, okay, come on. Settle down, Reddit. I don't think that's bullying. I think it's just trying to live vicariously through your daughter. And that's not cool either, but I don't think it's necessarily bullying. I'm happy for you that you walked out and humiliated to have to stand around waiting for the ride. Oh, and saying you're too sensitive is a fucked up manipulation. Well, that I agree with. That is sort of gaslighting. Just sort of saying, hey, you're too sensitive. You're the one who's at fault. You're the one that's just taking issue where there is no issue. That's gaslighting. Totally gaslighting. If you don't know what gaslighting is trying to convince the person who feels that something is wrong or that something has been off about your behavior, convincing them they are the cause of the problem rather than you, even though they know differently. So it's sort of trying to convince somebody of a different reality than the one they know to be true. Yeah, vicarious coitus. Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree, Tim. I'm inclined to agree. That and the sexual. If this was the father doing the exact same thing to his son and a female rapist, everyone would say OP's parent was a predator. Well, that's true. She has no idea if one of these men is a psycho, and if they're, yeah, okay, all right. Well, you know, I mean, it's extreme. It's a real possibility and a threat. Yeah. Well, I think it's you know, I think we've got to focus on not the boundaries rather than, you know, sort of respecting this daughter's boundaries rather than some, you know, hypothetical serial killer scenario that we've sort of come up with. I think that sort of, you know, maybe just, you know, let's focus on the boundaries first, and then we can sort of get into these kind of situations. Yeah, it does give me the ick as well. It just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right. I totally get talking to your daughter about, hey, you know, let's you know, work on your flirting skills if ever you want to use them. But sort of, you know, asking out guys for your daughter, no, come on. I am that person who wipes everything down. I get junk for it. You know what? I don't, you know, since the pandemic, I'd never, you know, before the pandemic, I might have gone, yeah, that's a little weird. I probably wouldn't sort of like go, oh, you're too sanitary or something. I don't think there is such a thing as too sanitary, to be honest with you. But you know, since the pandemic, that's totally, you know, that's totally normal. Anyone that says that someone is too sensitive can kick rocks from a sensitive person. Am I sensitive? Are you sensitive? What do you think? Are you sensitive? Oh, wait, have I run the poll? Look, I'm 100% a professional. Trust me. Trust me. Oh, I did. Wow. All right, I did something right. I am not. I don't know what a shoey is, and I'm not sure I want to know, Beamsy. So no, I don't think that will happen. I don't know what I'd do for a 10K. What would I do for it? Didn't I promise that I'd wax my head at 10K? Didn't I? Yeah, no, Tim, I agree. Sensitivity is a stupid metric. I mean, some things I'm sensitive to, some things I'm not, some things I can just laugh off, and some things, really, really bug me. So I think it depends on A, context, and B, I think I'm more sensitive to someone that I think is my friend giving me, being mean kind of thing. I think that sometimes I can't tell who's joking and who's serious, and that is maybe something I can be sensitive about. But like people that sort of tell me I'm bald and stuff, it's like, well, it just doesn't worry me. Like, it just doesn't worry me. Yeah, there is a bit of backstory living room, I gotta say, mate. But yeah, no, at 10K I will wax my head. I don't know what a shoey is, and I don't. No. Number one, I don't really drink. For a start, I don't really drink at all, so chugging isn't something that I generally get into. Number two, it's a shoe, and that's pretty disgusting. Like, if it was a new shoe, maybe, but like, seriously, you haven't seen my feet. I don't want to do that. That's kind of, yeah, no, that's kind of not cool. Mum needs a therapist. Absolute. Maybe the daughter needs a therapist too. Like that, just because somebody, the daughter, if they're getting anxiety and a lot of stuff, maybe the daughter has been seeing a therapist. I think a bingo night. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, we could do bingo cards for creationist stuff. That would be so much fun, right? Like have the bingo cards as appeals to God of the gaps, and you know what I mean? Like, appeals to God of the gaps, and uses incredulity to justify their position, and like says bless you, says I'm praying for you. That would be fun. That would be fun. I got to admit, that's a good idea, Hill Hugger. That's a good idea. I'll look into that. Even without reaching 10K. Maybe I can make that like a 1.5K. We can have a bingo night. Like, watch a video and see how many bingo slots we can fill in. That's good. Enabling parents. Oh, that's just mum. Are just as bad. Yes. Yeah, you need boundaries. Don't soften the apology. I apologize for my mother's sexual harassment. I know you're simply trying to earn a paycheck. Yeah, and that's what I think. These poor guys, they're just trying to earn a paycheck. They're just doing work. Like, oh yeah, send them over, Beansy. Sure, absolutely. That'd be great. Bingo is patronizing to our friends. Why? I mean, I could do atheist bingo cards, sure. Like, you can do bingo with anything, quite frankly. Like, seriously. I mean, I could do a flat earther bingo cards. Like, I think somebody already does flat earther bingo. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be on just Christians. It would probably be on young Earth creationists or something like that. Like, it wouldn't be on just Christians in general. I don't think I could have just one on Christians in general. They're too sort of diverse. But I think I could have one on young Earth creationists, definitely. Shame she didn't have to walk home. Yeah, I kind of like the thing that makes me think that they're not an asshole for leaving them stranded there is that she was so petrified. Hoven bingo. Oh, come on. That sounds too awesome, Dr. Dano. It sounds too awesome, quite frankly. Although the downside of that is you'd have to watch Hoven. You realize that, don't you? Like, think about that for a second. Think about it. Yeah, so you know, the only thing making it is that she had her boundaries violated. She wanted out of there. I get that. That is a violation of your boundaries on the largest level, and you know, sort of. Yeah, I'm going to say not the arsehole, definitely. Definitely. The poster is absolutely fine. Okay, settle down. Okay, literally setting you up. Okay, all right. I don't think she's literally setting up to be stalked. And plus, you don't have to do that to be stalked. Like, seriously, some women get stalked just by buying something from a store. It's ridiculous. Like, seriously. I don't know. Like, stalking behavior? Who's got the time? Like, seriously, I don't understand anybody that would follow somebody around who's not interested. Like, it's so weird. My dad, brother, and one sister are upset I left there. Don't see an issue with her behavior. They should see an issue with her behavior. My other two sisters think my mum was being... Yeah, they probably got exactly the same thing, right? You're not the arsehole. She played a stupid game. She won a stupid prize. Your lift doesn't stick around if you bully them. Well, yeah, no, if your boundaries are violated, yeah, your lift is you know... No, my siblings weren't shy when they were teens, yeah. Okay. Maybe she didn't do it with her other siblings. I would have died with embarrassment. Okay. Not only that, I want to show you a video I saw the other day as well. It was hilarious. This is my idea of a nightmare, right? Oh, I don't know why I got subtitles on. This is my idea of a nightmare. This is a thing that I would.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome. Here's some menus for you. Have a little peruse, and I'll be back shortly to take your order.
Thank you.
Lovely, man. Oh, this is fancy, isn't it?
Yeah.
These guys are a bit hit and miss, I must admit. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. I think it's Viva La Dirt League, and they sort of did some gaming skits kind of thing, comedy skits, and sort of did some other skits. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. They're okay.
I'll just take you somewhere nice for your birthday.
Just keep off the B word.
Sorry, I completely forgot.
Yeah, sorry. It's just, you know how much I hate it when restaurants feel the need to sing you that song.
So, can I take a drinks order?
Yes, please. I'll have the Cove Chardonnay.
Of course.
And I'll just grab a Jameson's on the rocks.
Oh, come on. My shout. You get something top shelf if you want.
No, I'm fine. Just a Jameson, thank you.
Okay.
I truly don't mind if you want to get something nice.
Seriously, I'm happy with the Jamesons.
Honey, come on.
Yeah, it is a kids in the hall kind of thing, but they started out mostly doing, as far as I can remember, they started out doing kind of skits on gaming stuff. So, you know, mostly WoW skits, like so World of Warcraft kind of, oh, you're doing quests and this happens kind of thing, or fetch quests and stuff like that.
Come on, it's your bloody birthday.
Did you say it's his birthday?
No. No, it's our friend's birthday next week. Might bring him.
Please. Please. Is it his birthday?
What? No.
And this is look, and honestly, Lynn, my wife, this is her worst nightmare. I originally saw this and I sent it to her saying this is literally her worst nightmare. Her nightmare is this. Like, it's just this. Yeah, I know, Hilha. It is so good. I just love it so much. Like, it's just so good.
It's a friend.
Don't lie to me. It's company policy that we must sing happy birthday to anyone whose birthday it is. So I'm going to ask you again. Is it Sir's birthday today?
It's his birthday today. Oh no.
Please, don't.
Sorry.
You don't have to.
Happy birthday to you.
It's so good. Like, just the music, it's just, and I love this guy. He's so good. I love him so much.
Stop it.
Happy birthday to you.
It's okay. We'll get through this. We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Happy
Please look at me.
birthday, dear
Please look at me.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, he's a jolly fellow. Oh, he's a jolly fellow. Oh, he's a jolly.
That's exactly how I would feel if they do it to me. And to be honest with you, my wife, she would probably get up and just leave. Like, just walk the fuck out. Like, seriously. Yeah, this is the nightmare scenario. Like, this is what introverts go, no. And I mean, imagine how many times the staff has to do this kind of thing. Like, yeah.
I didn't mean to.
And so say all of us.
Thank you.
We're done.
And so say all of us. And so say.
I just love it. It's like a horror movie, and like it is. It's a horror movie. Like, I knew this store that was like one of those sort of. It was set up like a an ice, like a 50s dairy, sort of soda dairy place kind of thing, like from the 50s with the booths and the stuff. And they had to do this song and dance that was like a 50s swing kind of thing to this music whenever somebody had a birthday. And like, seriously, I talked to one of the people there and they were like, I want to kill myself every time I do this thing. Like, I hate it so much, and they're obliged in their job to seem like they're happy and just swing it. And you do that night after night, and oh boy, like, they were just...
So say all of us. Boy, he's a jolly good fellow. Boy, he's a jolly good fellow. Boy, he's a jolly good fellow. Nobody cares. Have you made any decisions on your main?
I will have the roast chicken.
Okay.
Fish of the day.
Yep. So true. Boundaries, people. Boundaries. Boundaries. All right, Ozzy. Have fun at Bunnings, man. Like, no worries at all. Doctor needs a wrench. Doctor can have a wrench, I think. Do I trust Doctor? Oh, you want to show something? Yeah, gotcha. Yep, no worries at all. Sorry, Doctor. I just, that skit is just, it just sums up how I feel. It really does. Like, that kind of thing. Like, please do not sing to me for my birthday. Come on. Like, please. Mum fucked around and found out. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Like you're cutting her off with your boundaries. Yes. If somebody will not respect your boundaries, then they don't get to be around you anymore. If they can't, then they don't get the pleasure of your company. At least they didn't bring a bloody balloon. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want me to show this, Doc? Is that what you want to do? I mean, I can show it if you want. Give me a yay or nay. Give me a yay or nay if you want to show it. You know what? I'm going to show it just for the lols. Oh, it's not showing. It is 100% a broken link. So congratulations on that. Congrats. That would be a broken link. Broken link, sir. Have you tried going to it? Because it's not working. It's definitely not working. Okay. Well, you'll never know what the scary thing Dr. Dino is telling you about unless you actually subscribe to his channel. And then you can find out because he'll probably post it at some point. And I that. But Dr. Dino's in the house. Yeah, no one can see it, mate. I'm really sorry. I would love to. And that's Dr. Dino's channel. So they're currently doing some geological stuff. Okay, we've got a new link. Let's see how this one goes. There we go. There we go. So that is, oh, okay. It's not very, hang on. Is that a Quetzalcoatl? Is that a Quetzalcoatl? It looks too, like the wings look too small to fly, to be honest with you. I think that is the Quetzalcoatl, which was like a massive pterodactyl, essentially. Massive pterodactyl. Basically, I don't, before you correct me, Dr. Dino, I know that it was completely different. I know that. Okay, so I'm, yeah, Quetzalcoatlus, yeah, that's the one. Okay, so let's see how we did on that poll. I might call it there. I didn't even know I've gone over 2 hours, so I you know. Yeah, it does look like mixed bones. Then again, the platypus looks like mixed bones. The platypus they didn't even believe was real, you know, when they saw it. Well, yeah, and I think I might call it there. So yeah, I got through a few. That last one was pretty crazy, pretty embarrassing, pretty weird. So like most of them, pretty weird. I think the cake one was pretty superficial, but I'm glad I went into it. I'm really glad I went into it. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you to all my members and everybody that supports me. You guys are amazing, and for those members who are conversationalists and above, I probably will be doing a member only stream very shortly. So stay tuned for that. If you are of that, I think there's 2 people at the moment who are in that category. So yeah, private stream for awesome people. And but thank you everybody anyway. You know, thank you for supporting me, and thank you for joining me. Thanks everybody for joining me. Actually, it's so good to see all of you, and you're all opinions are valid. I love talking with you. I love disagreeing with you. I love everything about it. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get more debates and discussions and dissections from me, the one, the only, the Mark Reed. At least I hope there's only one of me. Oh, help the world if there's more. But yeah, and always don't forget to be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Listen to each other, acknowledge each other, and let's try and move forward and sort of create a society where we're all recognized and acknowledged, and no group is superior to the other. That's what we're really after. So be kind to yourself and be kind to everybody else. I wish you lots of love and take care of yourself and everybody else. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you next time for another AIMBOT where we can look at things and disagree again. Thanks so much.